I request the Honorable Mabona to second this motion. It's a procedural motion. We take a vote and then move to 9 so that we can make progress, Honorable Speaker. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I wish to second the motion and indicate, Mr. Speaker, that we have multiple roles, and sometimes when you are overwhelmed, it becomes very difficult to stay focused. And so this gives members an opportunity to relook at the issues that we've done, and especially because these are issues that relate to NADCO, that the country has been challenging us, especially those working around the broad-based issues and our 10-point agenda. And one of them is the issue of the NADCO report. And Mr. Speaker, therefore, I'm even glad that we have more than enough quorum so that members can very soberly and consciously look at the issues that we are dealing with, especially around electoral laws. Thank you, and I second.
Thank you. Member on his feet, take your seat. Patrick Macau, Commissioner, take your seat. Carolo Mondi, what is it?
Honorable Speaker, I was just wondering, because I'm hearing a lot of talk about NADCO report.
About?
NADCO report, and that we are supposed to adopt it. But the reality is there are a lot of illegalities in that report, constitutional illegalities, that we need to debate. We can't just be chaperoned to adopt it.
In fact, that is the more reason why you should support this motion so that the bill comes back and you can debate it.
But if it had been rejected?
Yes, Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I very reluctantly wish to educate my classmate from primary school to the university. And my neighbor in Suba North is in Suba South and Suba North, because he's talking broadly about a report. The report was actually then looking at various amendments. So we are not talking about the report in overall. We are talking about specific issues in regard to the report. So you are going to be given an opportunity to look at each issue on the NADCO report as they arise, so that we are not choir members singing without music. Some of us are excellent dancers, and even people have been accusing me to dance, that I dance before Farouk Kibet. Mr. Speaker, me, I dance. Even I was suspended in Form 2 for dancing. The first time I was ever suspended in school. In the high school, I was suspended for dancing in the library. So I want to just inform Honorable Karoli that be vigilant. It is good that the standing order gives us an opportunity to relook and be keen and be vigilant, as smart as I am.
I have not proposed the question. Let me propose the question. Millie, I confirm that you also danced before me at a funeral. I now propose the question, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 49-2A, this House resolves to rescind its decision of Thursday, 24th July 2025, with respect to the second reading of the Election Offences Amendment Number 2 Bill, Senate Bill Number 28 of 2024. Majority, you want to say something?
Honorable Speaker, allow me, Honorable Speaker, to just make a small contribution in regard to this matter, and to thank the Minority Whip for informing her neighbor and classmate, the Honorable Karoli Omondi. First, that it's true, it is not the NADCO report that we are voting on. We voted on the NADCO report last year, and it was adopted by both houses. And consequential to that adoption, there are certain legislative proposals that were in this House and others in the Senate. This is one such legislative proposal, the Election Offences Bill, that was initiated in the Senate. They passed it, and it came here for concurrence, and we debated it last week. I think Honorable Karoli Omondi last week was very busy in the constituency, and he may have missed that opportunity. But as the Deputy Leader of Minority has said, inadvertently, last week, another bill in the Senate which was to be rejected. So members were, and therefore inadvertently rejected this bill which we intend to proceed, and that is why we are rescinding that decision of the House in line with the Standing Order 49-2A that allows us an opportunity to be able to rescind a decision which, as the case was here, was inadvertently passed by the House. And therefore, I want to plead to members that we support this procedural motion so that we go to the order number 9, where we'll now make the right decision in affirming and passing this bill to proceed to the committee of the whole House later. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Having been a contribution, I invite the mover to reply.
I'd like to urge members to pass this because this is a procedural motion, and because it is a procedural motion that is meant to do something very important and fundamental that's before this House, Honorable Speaker, I urge that members vote for this procedural motion and remove.
Order, members on their feet, take your seats. Honorable Order Mawade, freeze. Of Standing Order 49-2A, the second reading of the Electoral Offences Amendment Number 2 Bill, Senate Bill Number 28 of 2024. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary?
Number 9, the Election Offences Amendment Number 2 Bill, Senate Bill Number 28 of 2024, second reading. Question to be put.
Yes. Members on their feet, take your seats. Take the nearest seat. Kisairo, where is your nearest seat? First, consequent upon your decision at order number 8, question, which is that the Election Offences Amendment Number 2 Bill, Senate Bill Number 28 of 2024, be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Election Offences Act. Order number 10, motion, approval of National Assembly Bill number 70 of 2023.
Order, members. Order, Major, take your seat. Freeze where you are. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 10, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Article 113(2) of the Constitution and Standing Order 153, this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Gambling Control Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2023, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, sorry, honorable members, these clerks at the table are misleading the speaker. They told me we're putting the question, I'm told it's for debate. So we rescind that, go back to number 7. First go back to number 6, invite the member for Kisumu Town East to give his notice of motion.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion as an expression of concern on the Middle East conflict, that aware that among the rights enshrined in the United Nations Charter on Human Rights is the right to life and self-determination by the people. Cognizant of the fact that the Israeli occupation of Palestine territory in Gaza and the West Bank has been characterized by disproportionate and indiscriminate use of force. Concerned that this has deepened the humanitarian crisis in the region, including destruction of infrastructure, widespread civilian casualties, and willful killing of Palestinian civilians, including children, in the occupied territories by the Israeli army. Noting that these grave breaches amount to war crimes, flagrant violations of international humanitarian law, and crimes against humanity. Concerned that the recent escalation of hostilities between Israel and Iran, including cross-border strikes and retaliatory attacks, threatens to engulf the wider Middle East region in conflict, recalling that Kenya has previously suffered attacks on its soil as a result of Middle East conflict, including the 2002 attack on the Paradise Hotel in Kampala. Appreciating that the United Nations as general association of Palestine territories and urging including the regional powers and the United Nations Security Council to intensify diplomatic efforts aimed at achieving an immediate ceasefire, facilitating humanitarian access, initiating inclusive peace negotiations in the Middle East. Appreciative of the role of Kenya has played constituting crimes against humanity committed by Israel, this House, 1, expresses concern over the dangerous escalation of hostilities in the Middle East that has threatened international peace and security across the Middle East and beyond. Reaffirms Kenya's proactive commitment to peaceful resolution of disputes through negotiation, diplomacy, and adherence to the principles of United Nations Charter. Urges all parties to the conflict to protect civilian lives and infrastructure in accordance with the Geneva Convention and the international humanitarian law, to exercise maximum restraint and immediately cease further acts of aggression, including aerial bombardments, missile strikes, and other form of military escalation, and calls on the international community, including the United Nations and the regional powers, to intensify diplomatic efforts aimed at de-escalating and restoration of dialogue and the return to the frameworks of international law. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Shakil. We'll now go to order number 7.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, before we go to statements, allow me to acknowledge, because of the large volume of students visiting Parliament, some I may call out who have left. In the Speaker's Gallery, Keringate Primary School from Kuresoi South, Nakuru. In the Public Gallery, Father Toblino Academy from North Hor, Marsabit. Marigu B Primary School from Subukia, Nakuru. Kathera Primary School from South Imenti, Meru. Luak Girls Comprehensive School from Rarieda, Siaya. Mutongwi Comprehensive School from Kitui West, Kitui. Kamirithu Primary School from Limuru, Kiambu. I've been asked by the Honorable Otienda Molo to give him 1 minute to welcome Luak Girls. In the process, welcome all the schools present.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to welcome pupils from Luak Girls Primary and Comprehensive School, as well as all the other schools that have been mentioned to this august house. Mr. Speaker, I want the pupils to know that this house is the premier entity that shapes this country. And I want them to know that in life is defined by respect, by hard work, and the fear of God. And that as long as you inculcate all three, you will go places, whether it's in this house or in other areas of life. Mr. Speaker, Luak Girls is a very old and prominent girls' school that has produced many, many people who have shaped the life in this country. In the last year's exams, they emerged number 1 in the whole of Luak County. And that despite a tragedy that befell them. One of their dormitories burnt down to ashes, but fortunately it did not injure any of the girls because of the good precautions that the school takes. Mr. Speaker, I welcome them here. I urge them to work hard. And the fact, Mr. Speaker, that there are upwards of 60 schools that come to this August House is actually testament that Parliament is still respected in this country. But it also means that we as members of Parliament must remember that respect and behave accordingly. But Mr. Speaker, on a different note, in the earlier motion, you had said there's a member who had misled the House. Mr. Speaker, misleading the House is against the standing orders, and it is punishable. Mr. Speaker, I thought you would mention who that member is and then punish accordingly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member for Siaya, Christine Ombaka, I give you 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to greet the students from Luak Girls.
You don't greet them, you acknowledge their presence.
I acknowledge their presence, and I want to encourage them and tell them that the sky is the limit. Anybody can reach anywhere. I never knew that I would be in Parliament myself, and they should also realize that they can be in this house in future. I know that Luak has a good name as a school. It is one of the best national schools that we have ever had. The results are always very good, and I want to tell them that a lot of them can come here and be politicians, apart from being in other professions. You are welcome to, I acknowledge your presence, and please continue to come here to see the debate that is generated here, and how you too, in the schools where you carry out debates, you can emulate what is going on here. Thank you, and we shall see you at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Statements. The first one, member for Suna West, Peter Masara.